Well, welcome to another episode of the Minority Voice, and it's good to be back here. And as our weekly segment, I have Patrice here, and it's good to have you back. So, how have you been doing?
Thank you. Doing very well, Jeff. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome, and I'm glad we could have you here. So, we're here, so that means the legislators have not burned down the state, right?
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. No.
So, is there anything we should be scared about? Offhand?
On a national level,
Okay.
Did you want to talk about what's going on with the Supreme Court?
Well, sure. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah,
All right,
that's
well-
good. That's nothing's off limits here. So go ahead.
Well, the Second Amendment is being
Okay.
is being looked at very closely by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
A group of a couple of people in New York State worked through the Pistol and Rifle Association.
Okay.
And they're contesting the idea of a concealed permit that they say it's a fundamental right guaranteed in our Constitution. And as you
It
said
is?
before, that right shall not be infringed.
That's
yes, yes. So that's
Folks,
interesting.
and it says it shall not be infringed. So I want everybody to get their phones out, Google infringe. What does that mean? And then when you get the definition of that and you understand what that means, then read the Second Amendment. And then you can understand why gun advocates, gun rights people are saying there should be no laws. But read that definition. But anyway, sorry.
No, that's good. That's good because I think people think of the Second Amendment quite often in terms of, oh, you need to have a gun for hunting purposes or whatever, or even self-defense. But really, our founding fathers saw it as the militia's right to protect the people against the government. That was the primary need for guns. And also then protecting self-defense.
Yep, sure.
So one of the Supreme Court justices today took issue with New York State because New York State allow permits for concealed pistols more readily in the rural areas than they do in the urban areas. And one of the justices said, so what is it? Chipmunks are bigger, do more muggings, do they? So they obviously thought that was an unfair discrimination, that people have the right to self-defense.
Yeah, you find in a lot of the blue states, they have the gun restrictions, and it's reserved to those who are of higher means, economically speaking. Those are the ones who can get it. Whereas the common folks, everyday blue collar, they're restricted from getting them.
I'm not sure. It might have been Alito that pointed that very same thing out. He
Okay.
said that why should
Great
the
minds think alike.
ownership of a gun be restricted to police and military and the higher ups? Why shouldn't the average everyday citizen be able to defend themselves with a weapon?
Okay, so that was the hearing today.
Yes, it was today.
Okay, so good. So we should know something in probably about 7 months, 8 months.
June, I think. In June.
Yeah, June.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yep. Mhm.
And it could fundamentally change our permitting process
Yeah,
for
how
the
sweet would
concealed
that be?
permits. That could be major.
Yeah. That reminds me, I gotta renew mine comes up next month. So I better take care of that.
You can do it all online.
You can? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Thanks. I didn't know that.
They would have mailed you a letter saying you needed to renew it.
Yeah.
And there's a PIN number on that form.
Oh shit! I lost the letter.
You better find the letter. You can't do it without the letter because it's got the PIN number on it.
Oh my God!
I suppose you could probably call maybe.
I'm gonna have to call. Go to the sheriff's office and say, hey, what I need to do? Help me out.
Yeah.
Need my gun. It's election time next year. Help me. But anyway, so that was heard today. Anything else going in from the national level? Just that one?
Well, there's a lot going on at the national level. Gateway Pundit
Okay.
had an interesting, they're skirmishing really with NPR. Kind of as the McBroom report being a catalyst on it. And so they basically said, actually I've got their article here, but they said that that there were 9 points where they felt that the NPR had been in error. Only they didn't say it so nicely as I'm saying it. They felt that it was deliberate. I would tend to think that if reporters are making mistakes, quite often it's because of ignorance. Gateway Pundit seems to think that it's a malicious attempt.
Oh, it's malicious, girl. Come on. I know you're new to this game.
Some
You
of
was
these
just
points
so.
are fine points, though.
No, on the left, it is not out of ignorance. It is well orchestrated. Now,
Well, at the top, I think it is. Okay. But when you get the average reporter who's covering a story like this, I mean, they probably, I would guess, the person just hadn't done their homework.
well, you find that to be a case a lot of times.
Yes.
They don't do the homework. Yeah, that could be true.
Yeah.
But there is an agenda up at the top. So
Yeah,
anyway,
at the
so
top,
he's
at the
yeah.
top.
So
Yeah.
so their question, how many points? Did you say?
9. They said
okay.
there were 9 central claims that they said NPR was significantly incorrect.
And you know what? We fund them.
Yeah, that's a government. And that's a topic of discussion too. Should we be funding left-leaning media?
You know,
but we are.
It's like I don't know. That'll take me down another rabbit hole.
Another rabbit hole?
That'll be another rabbit hole about
That's
funding,
right. That's right.
stupid funding that we allow to happen. So what's happening in Michigan?
Well, in Michigan, as you know, the House and the Senate are on break.
Yep.
So now they're going back to their districts, and like you said, that your wife attended what was it, a
Legislative update.
legislative
Yep.
update with
Yep.
Representative Bolin
Yep,
last night.
yep.
So they're getting back out into the field with their people, which is good.
And sharing their propaganda, right?
Well, they're doing their best. They probably want donations. They want to get reelected.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're out there going after money. Yeah, and they are on recess, so I guess we can hold on to our wallets unless you have to go to the gas pump, right?
Oh my,
So,
inflation's really
yeah,
taking off,
so-
and I think there's an issue that President Biden had said that it was a temporary spike that would go back down, and
Yeah,
nobody's
right.
seen it go. Nobody's seen it round down at all. It just keeps going up.
Well, I filled up
real
last
problem.
night, $98.
Are you driving a tank?
An SUV, $98, man. I was excited. I was saying, am I gonna make it 100? Now that's pretty bad, you know, when you think like that. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna make 100 this time, you know. So if it goes up like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 more cents, I'm gonna have $100 a tank full, $100, man. And you know what? That hurts. That does. But you know what? The left have to feel some of this pain, man. They got to feel the maybe
Everybody's
wake up.
feeling it, yeah.
So,
Well, and I can't remember who the government official was, but he said, well, you know, if you eliminate meat and you eliminate, there were a couple of other items, staples basically, then inflation really isn't that bad. Automobiles and something else. But, you know, automobiles have gone up, I think, 30% year over year.
if you can get one.
If you can get one.
If you can get
That's-
one.
that's
You know,
right.
I might have said this on the podcast or I might have been telling somebody, but, you know, inflation this past month went up 6% plus. And they said if you would have calculated by the Carter days calculation, that it would have been up over 14%. But because of Social Security is based upon inflation. So after the Carter years, they said, man, we can't be paying.
change the way we calculate this.
We can't pay these seniors this kind of increase. So they changed the formula to keep it very low. But yeah, it sucks. It does.
It hurts the seniors especially who are on fixed income.
Yeah.
Because they can buy less with their money.
Anybody
It's
on a fixed
hidden-
income.
Hidden tax.
Yeah.
It's really, inflation is a hidden tax.
And you know who it really hurts is those who are on fixed incomes, as you said, and you know in the urban areas.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you know, this time last year, you know, I was spending what, you know, $45 to fill up my gas tank.
Yeah.
And now it's doubled.
Doubled.
Man, it's like, Dave, you don't get a check this week, man. Sorry, man. All right.
You gotta at least fill my gas tank.
All right, that's a
How
deal.
much do you think mine's gonna be? Less
Well,
than yours for sure.
And I think the White House is getting into some conflicts over they were making mumbles about closing Line 5, which is Enbridge.
Right.
And they've subsequently backed off on that, or Saki has. But so you don't know whether they're serious about backing off on it, or whether it's just a little head fake, and then it's going to be. But then also the Indian, is it Chaco Canyon, or there's an Indian reservation that the Biden administration wanted to restrict drilling on, and the Indians are saying,
dude, this is our income.
And this is our nation.
Okay.
They're a separate nation.
Right.
Oh, so I don't think
they're
we
going
have the
against
right
it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going against it.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what? I don't know. It's kind of off subject a little bit, but you mentioned Line 5. So I heard AOC talk about shutting down Line 3. Is it just because she don't know what the hell she's talking about?
Who knows?
And is there a Line 3?
I don't know. Not in Michigan that I know of.
Yeah,
Line
so
5 is the...
folks, if you've heard of Line 3, let me know, because I don't know if she's just being stupid or just, no, excuse me. She's not being stupid. She's being herself, okay?
Ignorant, a little ignorant.
She's stupid. But she said that. I thought, okay, is she talking about Line 5? But anyways.
She's not a numbers girl.
Yeah. Okay. We digress. Okay. Oh. Well, I guess. Thank you, House and Senate, for being on recess, so we can get some humor in here and not be worrying about if our state is falling apart. Is there anything in the horizon that you see when they come back that they want to get done before the end of the year?
Well, we're pushing that we would like to see the election manuals brought up to statute.
Okay.
Because right now we had mentioned to Representative Boland that there were violations being actually trained in the manuals that were in direct contrary to our statutes, and she wanted to know what they were. So we just yesterday submitted a 21-page report that showed what the issues are. And we showed the MCL, the Michigan licensing, the code, and we also then took pictures of actually what's in the manuals and what's being taught, because we're perpetuating behavior that invites fraud, and it's in violation of statute, so it needs to be stopped. The Secretary of State needs to stop this. And the legislature needs to tell her that this is statute. This is what's in the manual. Change it. Okay.
So now, I would presume they have the authority to force her hand on that, right?
I would think so, because the Secretary of State's role isn't to make the laws. Hers is to enforce, or basically set up the criteria for implementing the laws. And as an example, the absentee ballots is a big issue, because what it says in some of the training manuals is that they can verify the signature on an absentee ballot by comparing it to the application for the absentee ballot. And it very specifically says in the law that the qualified voter file, when you apply to be a voter, that's the signature to use. Right. So if they're taking this signature over here and comparing it with what they're choosing to say is a valid ballot, you don't know if it's valid at all.
So I could basically, what you're saying is, I could go get a ballot under your name, or say a mail's, and get it. I'll do the application, and when it comes, I get it, and then I sign it. And
you sign the envelope, and so the two will match.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is not a minor issue, because in Detroit, for example, I think they had 175,000 absentee ballots. And what happens when you walk in and vote, it's in statute, when you go in to vote, if your signatures don't match, the vote doesn't count. But here, with the absentee ballots, they were saying they needed to be adjudicated. And they adjudicated 48,000 of those 175,000 ballots.
Wow.
And they never, because there was never a real forensic audit conducted, we don't know what all the reasons were, but I bet some of those were that the signatures did not match. And they still counted them.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Uh-oh.
on her committee, how many Republicans are on there, and who are they? Do you know offhand?
On the elections.
Yeah,
I think
and Boland's.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty evenly.
Sure, we
Somewhat
probably got
evenly
one extra because we are whoever's in
we
the
have
majority
more. Yeah.
has one or two
Yeah.
more, depending on who wants to be on that committee.
They don't all show up.
Right,
but
of course
the
not.
Republicans tend to show up more. Steve Johnson is on there.
Good guy.
Yeah, he seems to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting the other names.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right. We have to look that up because you know what? Maybe sometimes when you don't get the cooperation from the head, sometimes you can get it from the flanks.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
And get some allies there because Steve Johnson's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have a deaf ear in one, you can open up another ear.
We
Just a
might
thought.
have kicked him off though because we opposed one of his.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, okay, so
Got to make some amends.
find somebody else. You know, I was talking to somebody today about sometimes among these reps, they can have little petty grievances with each other, and they do a tit for tat. You didn't back me here, I ain't backing you over here, and okay, now we're even. Now we can start fresh, and sometimes it can be pretty petty. But hey, it's great to have you. Now I know you're getting ready to go on vacation. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
You're heading off to what do they call Colorado? Beside the weed.
Green State.
The Green State, yeah. See, you asked David, a young guy. He can tell you that they're one of those.
What they're known for now.
Yeah, the Green State. So you know what the Green State is, folks. But you're heading off there, right?
Yes. Our daughter and son-in-law are having twins.
Yes,
So we're
you're going to
pretty
be a
excited.
grandma.
Yeah,
Awesome.
gonna be a grandma.
So you will probably see you back after the holidays and sometime in January.
Yep. Sounds great.
All right, I might have to pull somebody else in from your organization.
I would love that.
You know
That'd
what?
be fabulous.
If you put that word out, somebody be interested
Okay.
in me picking their brain a little bit. I'm actually going to go down to an agricultural hearing on November 30th. They're meeting with the appropriations committee, so I'm going to head down there, and because that's my interest. I got a ranch, and so,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a ranch. I raise sheep and all that. And
what
so,
kind?
I got a few different breeds: Hampshire, Dorsets, and Suffolks.
My brother used to raise Cordales.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do. Yeah. So.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, so I'm here in the daytime, and I'm out. I tell people I'm out shoveling shit when I get home. But hey, it's good to have you here.
It's not like cows or horses.
I have a transgender cow, right?
No.
I have a cow named Elsie.
Okay.
My son David. What do you call him?
I go with Caitlin. Caitlin Jenner.
He calls him Caitlin.
Well, previously.
So and I tell my rep friends, I have a transgender cow, and it's transgender. I said, yeah. I said,
Does that make it a transgender steer?
So no,
Or transgender bull?
he was a bull.
Female.
He was a bull, and I castrated him. So
Oh.
and I said that's a lot like a lot of the guys in Lansing. They've been castrated. Okay.
Oh boy,
I
I hope you cut all this out. Dave.
Well, hey, it's been good, and we look forward to having you back. And you have a safe travels,
Thank you.
and we'll be praying for your daughter, a good delivery, and
Thank
the
you.
twins. And until next time, folks, Joshua 24:15.